The French Quarter was alive with Fat Tuesday revelry, all torchlight, brass music, and masked faces. Julien Dubois and Celeste Moreau moved through the crowd in borrowed disguises, their own secrets hidden beneath black and silver masks. Beneath the noise, Julien carried a talisman from Madame Zora and the weight of Amélie's journal, while Celeste kept her camera concealed under her cloak and her amulet close to her skin. They were hunting the Order of the Crescent Moon, a group tied to a string of ritual murders that had already claimed 8 lives. Amélie's notes had named Vincent Devereaux as the man behind it all, and Zora's warning about the final crescent had brought Julien and Celeste to the city's edge of danger. Somewhere ahead, at Magnolia's end, the last part of the ritual was about to begin. Julien spotted them first. A line of cloaked figures moved through the parade with unnatural purpose, their crescent moon masks catching the firelight. They did not dance, laugh, or drink like the others. They cut through the crowd as if the celebration were only a curtain hiding their path. Celeste noticed the same thing an instant later and touched his arm, pointing them out without breaking stride. They followed at a distance as the cloaked figures slipped off Royal Street and into a narrow alley. There, hidden beneath the noise of drums and horns, the Order descended a hatch leading into the old tunnel network beneath the quarter. Julien and Celeste watched from behind a stack of discarded parade debris, realizing the tunnel would take them straight toward Magnolia's end. For a moment neither spoke. The parade behind them roared on, bright and careless, while below the city the darkness waited. Then Celeste raised her camera and took a silent photograph, as if trapping the moment could give them an advantage. Julien studied the hatch, the familiar symbol scratched into the iron, and felt the old ache in his scar flare with warning. They lifted the grate and entered the tunnel. The sound of the parade vanished almost at once, replaced by dripping water, stale air, and the faint echo of footsteps ahead. Moon symbols marked the walls in rough strokes, as though the tunnel itself belonged to the Order. Julien led with his lantern low, revolver ready, while Celeste followed close behind, steady despite the bruise still darkening her face from earlier danger. As they went deeper, the silence grew heavier. Julien thought of the names in Amélie's journal, the victims already taken, and the lives that might still be saved if they reached the plantation in time. Celeste read the tension in his posture without a word and said, in a quiet voice, that they would stop the ritual tonight or die trying. Ahead, the tunnel seemed to narrow toward a distant glow. It felt less like a passage and more like an invitation into a trap. Julien tightened his grip on the talisman. Beyond the next bend waited Vincent Devereaux, the final sacrifice, and the answer to the murder that had begun long before Fat Tuesday. Together they moved forward, into the dark, toward the moment when the mask would finally fall.